Hello everybody, this is T.A. Paul and thanks for being here. Today we're going to study about how to recognize the spiritual battle that is happening around us and in our lives every single day. And let's get started. Is there someone in your life who messes with you in the wrong way? If there is, it may surprise you to learn that it's not really the person who is creating the mess in your life. Or there's someone else at work, your real enemy. Then he may be using them in an attempt to gain an inward into your life. There is a spiritual war going on, and as a believer, you must be aware of it. Many Christians have adapted a humanistic view of things, and they do not realize the spiritual implication behind what is going on in their lives. What I mean by the humanistic view is that they only look at the things on surface level. They think most everything and every encounter on a daily basis is either physical or natural. The truth is, there is a battle raging every single day in the spiritual realm. That battle is for your heart and the hearts of every other person on the earth. God is trying to influence people and draw them towards righteousness and towards Himself to live consistent with Him so that His blessings can manifest in their lives. Satan, the other hand, is raging all out trying to steal the hearts of people away from God. He wants to fill their hearts with his trash and corruption. And honestly, although most Christians recognize this is to a degree, but I don't really think they realize how intense the warfare really is and how much their actions are contributing to it. If I could sit and talk with each of you, I would find that many of you are not aware of the spiritual significance behind what's going in your lives. You attribute much of it, what is happening, to circumstances, and therefore passively accept what comes on your way. When you do that, you are ignoring the intense battle what is being waged for your heart every single day. The choices you make, the things you say, the actions you take, and what you believe about what is happening around you determines whether God or Satan dominates in your life. Satan cannot control you outside of your will. He cannot do anything without your cooperation and consent. But you need to recognize that you are in a battle. And many people choose not to believe that. But whether they do or not, the fact is that it's taking place. Your unwillingness to engage in the battle does not mean the battle isn't raging. It just means that you are going to lose the battle. But once you realize the battle is real, you can then learn to recognize what's going on and take a proper action to improve your situation so you can resist the devil. Book of James chapter 4 verse 7 says, "Submit yourselves to God, therefore resist the devil and he will flee from you." Ephesians chapter 6 verse 10 through 12 reads, "Finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of His might, put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of devil. For we wrestle not against the flesh and blood, but against the principalities, against the powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, and against the spiritual wickedness in the high places." This is referring to demonic powers. There is a chain of command and authority structure in the demonic realm, and this is listing these different levels. But notice that it is saying that you're not wrestling against the flesh and blood, but much of that goes on in your life is not just a human. The fact is that people are being influenced and controlled and used by the devil. They really are. This needs to be said because there are a lot of people who honestly believe that all the demons are in Africa or in India or a different part of the other world. But it's not person sitting next to you at work. It's not the neighbor. It's not certainly your husband or your wife. That's the problem. Anyone who is not paying attention can be influenced and inspired and used by the Satan to come against you. If you were to recognize that, it would make a huge difference in the way that you respond to them. I've had good friends come against me and do some pretty mean things in my life. And you know what? I was able to look right past and what they did and forgive them. I could see that Satan was taking advantages of them to hurt me through some weak areas in their lives. But when you finally see that you don't get angry or bitter with the person, and you're able to walk in the forgiveness, then when they do turn around, the relationship can be reestablished. There are also times when you have to engage the enemy directly, even if the enemy is using a friend. That's exactly what Jesus did when he rebuked Peter, saying, "Get behind me, Satan." That was the same day Jesus asked Peter, "Who do you say I am?" And Peter, inspired by the Holy Spirit, said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." In Matthew chapter 16, verse 15 through 17, it says, "He said unto them, But whom you say ye I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for the flesh and the blood not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven." After this, Jesus began to talk about what was going to happen to him. They're going to take me, they're going to kill me, and I will rise again on the third day. And this same Peter, who had been inspired and controlled by the Holy Spirit just moments before, began to rebuke Jesus, saying, "Be it far from you, Lord. This will never happen to you. I'm going to stand here and the rest of us will defend you. But we're not going to allow this to happen to you." Then Jesus turned and spoke these words to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan." I'm sure Peter was shocked, but Jesus wasn't really talking to him. He was talking about Satan to Satan, the one who was controlling Peter. Peter's words were not coming from God. They were inconsistent with the will of God. Peter was being inspired and controlled by the devil in the things he said. Now, that's a pretty strong statement. A lot of people honestly think that this is a little over the top. They think that they don't need to respond to people this way. But I can guarantee you that there are times when Satan is speaking directly to you through the people that you are close to. He's using people to get at you, whether you recognize or not. This goes on much more than you know. You are in a spiritual war. I tell you, there is a supernatural war waging today for your heart and mind. In fact, for some of you right now, the devil is trying to oppose the words that are coming out of my mouth. He wants to discredit them and cause you to ignore or reject them. The Holy Spirit on the other side is bearing witness in your heart and trying to get to your open up and receive these words. It's spiritual warfare. To win in this war, you must know who you are and the authority you have as a believer. You have the power and the authority to do it. And now it's time to use it.